So let me add this because this is one of those things where when you hear it, especially being raised in America, it's like cringeworthy, like, don't bring your kids. What? But it's not that he's right, but look at the state in which most step parenting situations are in. We have a hard time proving him wrong. Most women now are saying that a man that they live with, that pays all the bills in the house, and as a stepfather can't discipline her kids. So that is
So
something
are
that's
those
repeating.
so when we talk about those people, are those husbands? 'Cause those usually are girlfriends talking about boyfriends. Are those
No,
husbands
we're talking about whole husband situations,
In
and
which race of people?
in all races of people.
Wait, wait,
So
wait, wait, wait,
hold on,
wait.
hold on,
In
hold on,
in
hold
a
on.
community where has a 30%
No,
marriage rate, that's
no,
what we
hold on,
talking
hold
about.
on, hold on, hold
we
on.
talk about half of them,
Hold
child.
on, hold on. Remember, this is all associated with the woman and the change in their assumed power dynamic. They believe that they can come into any situation and wield control over it. So they will come into a situation in which a man is redeeming them and a man is covering them, saying, "Don't discipline my kids." So that he's making a case that bringing your kids with you is going to be a significant. If the way it's actually supposed to be done is if we were to allow that, you tell that new man, these are your kids now. Discipline them as you please. Do you hear any woman say that? No. They want
So
to keep
so
control in every situation.
I agree that that does happen, but I would argue that that's not in a marriage. That's people shacking up. That is
Trigger
not.
Mike, I'm gonna
Look,
switch.
look,
I'm
look,
gonna switch.
that
Okay.
I don't agree that we're able to say that that's majority of the people who are in marriages because it's so often we get them too confused because there's so many people shacking up, so many people in relationships playing house because our marriage rates are just not that high for that to be the situation. And I don't believe that everybody who's married is in a stepfather situation. I just don't. But I mean, I'm not saying that some. I'm not saying that, and I do know that that is an issue. But like I said, I think that that's an issue outside of marriage. That's
Yeah.
relationship.
Well, it
Um,
all makes sense.
but and I understood what you were saying. Thank you for sharing. And what country did you say that was? What's his name?
Ikene?
You can
In what country did he say that was?
So, I think he was talking about the world over, like in the past. But I will say that the reason why I think that that's good information, at least to ponder on, is that I'm always wondering exactly when all of this behavior will hit a fever pitch, because feminism has destroyed other empires. So this whole thing with women acting out of order, men not behaving like men. This has happened before in history. And I've always wondered, how did we go back to traditional norms after feminism toppled an empire? It's simply because when you look at the situation that women create when they are more free, and then everybody needs a stepfather and there are no fathers in the home and all of this, you realize that there is calamity with anything you try to fix it with. So right now we are in the stepfather crisis where women are literally leaving men because they think they can get another one, but don't understand that you literally hurt your children by trying to take them into another man's house. Right? So those things never work. The original is always better than the remix, right? Or you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but the thing is this, right? So that's what I'm trying to say in essence, because the thing is this:
No,
a
you
lot of
said
men.
that you wanted to strip the mom out of the home and take her kids and put them somewhere else.
Damn,
What are you talking?
that's
That's not
not
what
what
I
he said.
said.
He
You didn't say that
You
marry the
you
woman.
you
Did I miss something?
you see, you bring in sentiment into the
No,
conversation,
I'm
but that's
asking.
okay. I
Listen, is
understand.
that not what you said though?
That is
I'm
not what I
asking.
said.
So,
No,
so what happens to the kids if you marry a woman with kids?
they stay with their grandparents.
And so that would
I
that not
said
be
it
the same
earlier.
thing as taking
It's
the
not
woman?
stripping. It's not stripping the
Okay,
If
kids.
they're not in the
This,
same, if they're not in the same house with the mom, bro, like,
that's
let,
stripping.
But
let,
it's semantics.
like I
That's
understand,
semantics.
that is the
I
problem.
understand your point. I really do, and I get it. It actually makes sense to me. But what you are suggesting is go back to some time that I'm not familiar with, that no one in America, that no one alive probably is familiar with. If you're under the age of 85, and say, hey, baby, I like you. I like you a lot. I want to marry you. But your kids got to stay with your folks when we get married. You are literally telling the
I
woman
gotta
that's
ask you a
living in
question,
your
AP.
house
AP, I gotta ask
that
you a
she
question.
doesn't like, she's not going to have 24-hour access to her
I
kids.
understand where you're going, AP, but I gotta ask you a question. If you keep digging hole for yourself, when are you gonna get out of that? Don't you
Or you
stop when
just,
it's 4 feet or 3 feet? Are you gonna wait until it's 20 feet?
or you
Or
can simply disqualify the woman if her kids can't come with her.
but guess
Like,
what?
don't like disqualify her right out the gate. Don't. Why are you
And that is
wasting?
what but guess what? That's why that is the best option. It is
Let's go
the
with that
best
one.
option. That is why I never talked about that. It's the best option. But what we're saying today is for the men that are marrying those women that have kids. It's not a good option for those men.
Actually,
Because
my
you
So
know
I have
example.
a
why?
Well, go ahead.
question.
Go
Can I
ahead. Go
ask you a
ahead.
question?
The reason why is because those men are going against nature.
But my example was is that what if it's an upgrade for the man? He normally would not qualify for that type of woman, but because she has a kid, it brings balance to the relationship.
In
So
that is
how do
not
you
that is not correct. No man without kids is disqualified from marrying a woman without kids. That is the worst thing
what?
any man can do to
Hold on,
himself.
hold on. I missed that. Can you say that again, please?
No man without kids is disqualified from marrying a woman without kids.
Did you run that by the women? Because most
Oh,
women are
he's
gonna have
talking
a
about. So he's saying if the
No, no,
man
no. What? Say
he
it
does
again.
not
Did
have
I run it
children.
by the woman? You were going to say something next after that.
yeah, because women have their standards for what they look for. So normally a woman is only going to, she's not going to look, the example I use with the guys a four. Well, normally that woman wouldn't look at that guy because he's a four. But because she has a kid, she's saying, you know what? Usually I don't, but because he is willing to accept my kid, I may, you know what? I may make an exception. Again, the relationships are about
Let me
balance.
put it this way. Let me put it this way. It's still out of line when a woman thinks that a man that comes to her is not qualified to be her husband. It is a honor, a big honor for a man to extend his hand for marriage to a woman, because a woman only has 6 years to accept or reject men in her life. Forget about what has happened today. Some people can say, "Oh, when I turn 35, I can make." No, after 25, you can't make a choice, and if you out of the market,
So how are all these women getting married after 30 then?
guess
50
what?
actually is
You
All
know
right,
why?
well,
married
You know
yeah.
why they're marrying after 30?
The average age of
Because
marriage in this
no,
country is
I have an
31.
answer to that. I have an answer to that. The reason why they marry after 30 is because a lot of men today have become so sympathetic to women. They don't even know what they qualify
Well,
for.
So how are
well,
we going to change the standards
hold
of both
on, hold
men
on.
and okay.
We gotta
We're not
because
gonna
I
change
tried to
overnight because
I
I'm about
tried
to
to
be all
debunk
off.
this. The average age I think for black women is 31, but the average age of first marriage for women in general is now moved up to 29. And we're not men are not actually marrying women or looking to marry a woman at 29. They met her at 25, dated, like you see what I'm saying? Got engaged at 27 and then married her at 29. So he's
Is
still
that for
right.
black women as well?
Black women is 31. I
I'll
think
tell
it's
you guys
31.
one thing. My wife, right? I married her at
Which
30s.
stat? Where are you getting that, Mike? Can you drop it?
I'm
No,
sorry, say again.
I'll
Can you
use
drop
myself
the
as an
link?
example.
Damn,
I'll use
yeah,
myself as
average
an
age of
example for
first
Mike.
marriage, race groups. Hold on.
No, he's right. It is 31.
Check this out, right? What Mike just said right now is absolutely 100%. You know why? My wife, I married her at 35. But people are going to be like, wow, you married your wife at 35? Guess what? I met her at 26. If I didn't meet her at 26, do you think I'm going to meet her at 35 and marry her? Hell no.
Damn, it's like 32 now. All right, so Chan, it's in the
But
back chat.
I met her at 26, which means I met her at the age that men meet and marry their wives. And we stayed that long. Never broke up, but married. right? So what I'm going to say to you guys, the reason why there is a lot of problem today is because we are going against nature, and nature always going to win. For a woman to marry at the age of 35, meet a man at 35 and marry at 35 or 40 is totally against nature. They know the kind of problem that they go to. There are people out there that get away with it. But majority, which is what we always speak on, is majority. Majority do not get away with it. That it works for you doesn't mean it works for the 85% or 95% of people out there. It doesn't work for them. You might be one of that. You might be that 10, 15%. That's good.
And money. I'll say this. So, and this kind of goes back to earlier in the conversation. Trigger Mike, would you say a 4 and a normal 8 are equally yoked, or could be equally yoked? A woman that's an 8 and a guy that's a 4, are they? Is there any possible way that they would
Yes.
be equally yoked?
Money
Yes.
seems to think
Yes.
I got you.
There is a way.
I believe in it, money.
Beyonce, Jay-Z, that nigga a 2. So that's all I got to say.